Having kids is a humiliation ritual. Whoa, okay, alright. Strong start.
Having children in a patriarchal society is a humiliation ritual.
What?
Sometimes I really do wonder if I'm the weird one, and then I watch videos like this and I realize, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I think I'm the weird one for being an anime girl online that just like acts like a clown, and then I see these unironic, like not skidded, unironic, this is what people think, Instagram reels or like TikToks, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not that dumb. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. If you are currently wondering why I am uploading again so soon, it is because the dumb writers over at Stranger Things decided to do some dumb crap and it derailed my posting schedule. So here we are again. Ready for suffering.
This is a bit late, huh?
With a video that I'd planned to post yesterday. Now, in 2025, we have had many a conversation about dating. Well, we haven't on this channel. I think I've talked about this like maybe once or twice, but broadly speaking, the broader community have had conversations about this. Highlighting the pitfalls of online dating, apparently.
It's so bad, man. Talking to anyone online is like, it's like pulling teeth.
There's now a Tinder
COVID
for kids.
did a number,
I
man.
have no idea what to make of this one. There is the whole issue of men not approaching women and why that might be.
Honkers!
Probably because they make themselves look like
Honkers!
this. But then, just before Christmas, I saw a resurfaced clip from a popular streamer called Valkyrae. I've never said this out loud. Valkyrae, whose name is Rachel
Valkyrae.
Hofstadter, outlining her vision for the future, saying that she would probably never have kids, and she instead wanted to be hot and play video games for the rest of her life until she dies. And I thought, wow, that is...
Did she actually say, I want to be hot for the rest of my life and play video games? You know you can be a VTuber, right? Like, you're not gonna stay hot forever. Like, even in age, you do start to show your age. Like,
Is bleak.
I'm probably never having kids. It is what it is. I'm probably going to play video games for the rest of my life. I'm probably going to be as hot for as long as I can.
As long as I can. Okay. She didn't say hot forever. Okay.
And I'm probably going to keep making money in the best ways I can, which is like doing commercials and shows. Like, that's probably what's going to happen for the next like 40 years until I die.
Holy shit, she wants to do this for 40 years?
And
do you realize that even the most popular actresses that grow old into acting, they get phased out like very slowly. They age gracefully and they do not get as many jobs as like young hot actresses do. I genuinely, like, think about it. Like, people are watching you because you're attractive and you sound hot. But even amazing actresses that are, like, likable on screen and they do great acting, like, even the old ones, I forget, there's, like, a couple there that passed away recently. Yeah, Meryl Streep and, like, a couple of other ones that, like, you know, grew into old age and acting and they didn't pass away, like, at age 50 or something. They stopped getting as many jobs, man. You can't keep doing this forever. Yeah.
I think people are just
not
gonna keep being mad at
realistic.
me about it. It is what it is. I don't know, man.
I truly want to be a
Preach,
girl,
queen.
hand on heart. I want to get behind
And the other thing I don't like about this is that then other women think that they can possibly do this. They can get away with it. Who's to say Valkyrie's not gonna get plastic surgery? Not that I think she needs it, but like there's a lot of people that just can't handle growing old and they start getting Botox and shit. And like nose fillers because their face starts changing because they're getting old, and now that's how gravity works.
girly pops, but this is not the thing to aspire to. I'm just asking that you pick a better ambition. This will shock none of you, and you guys yourselves have probably seen this, but over the years, this type of sentiment has absolutely grown in popularity, especially on platforms like TikTok.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, men do say this.
I get recommended videos like that all the time and have to scroll past them because I just don't give a fuck, man. They're so cringe.
Things as well, like Seth Rogen, for example, who back in 2023 expressed how happy he is to not have children, basically describing how having them would really have hampered his life.
Honestly, Thank God we don't have children. We get to do whatever we want. We are in the prime of our lives. We are smarter than we've ever been. We understand ourselves more than we ever have. We have the capacity to achieve a level of work and a level of communication and care for one another and a lifestyle we can live with one another that we've never been able to live before. And we can just do that. And we don't have to raise a child, which the world does not need right now. And so
I think this is the overwhelming theme I see with people being against kids. It's not just that you personally don't want kids, it's that you think you're doing the world a favor by not having them. And by extension, people who do have them have done something wrong. Like, and I think that's like a really like weird sentiment to have. And you really see this like on the feminist side of things, because obviously they view being a wife and mother as being like a slave to your male oppressors and ruining your body and providing free domestic labor to men, which is just fucking batshit insane. And not to mention, like, there's people who like have religious connotations to this. It's like, oh my God, you're having so many kids. It's like, okay, then let them do what they want. Don't like Mormons have like 6 kids on average?
that was, and so yeah, it's we're very happy with our choice to not have kids. Me and my wife seem to get a lot more active enjoyment out of not having kids than anyone I know seems to get out of having kids.
I used to love Seth Rogen, I'm not gonna lie, and now I just want him to shut up. I think it is really sad and quite unfortunate that this has become the prevailing attitude over the last number of years towards having kids and a family. This has sort of become the accepted position. And in Valkyrae's case, she is, what, 33 years old, I think I read. And so because she's a popular internet personality, this is the age where everybody starts asking, when are you having kids? When are you gonna make babies? Ask me how I know that. So her sentiment here, at least in my opinion, is not entirely surprising. Even Mr. Beast weighed in asking why people care, given that it doesn't affect them at all if she reproduces. And on a surface level, he is correct. A stranger's personal choices in this way don't have any bearing on our individual lives. Unless they're like committing a crime against you. Don't do that. And yet, despite the fact that this really does have nothing to do with the rest of us, there's something undeniably melancholic about this worldview. I really cannot think of anything more depressing than playing video games for the rest of my life. And I really like video games. What the f***? Oh my God!
Dead Space!
Stop laughing. Bro, I don't even want to hit resume. I don't want to do it.
That's fair, man. Dead Space is scary.
But come on, really, how is this a life goal? The more that I looked into these sentiments to make this video, the more that I realized they seem to prioritize perpetual adolescence, in a way, over deeper human connection. And I think this ultimately feeds into why relationships are so hard and why people having families is so hard.
So I'm child-free by choice, and everyone always says, like, what's your purpose? If you don't have kids, what's your purpose? My purpose is getting my nails done.
It's so shallow sounding. Like, I don't know. Like, I would have been... I don't know, maybe this sounds pretentious, but, like, I feel like if she said something like, oh, my purpose is to, like, go to a homeless shelter and spend my time over there and, like, I don't know, making money so that I can donate it to my favorite org or whatever. I feel like that's a way more polite way of like saying I don't want to have kids. Am I pretentious for that? I don't know. Like saying, oh my God, I want to get my nails done. It's like, is that your entire purpose in life? Like I'm not even like being a philosopher. Yeah, like, no, yeah, my nails. Or like, I want to be an artist and spread love to the world. I think that's actually more of a good answer. I don't know, maybe I'm being a woman. But I think this answer is retarded.
Going shopping, treating myself. Look at this new bag I just got.
Oh my God, this new bag. I bet it costs like a couple $1,000.
From Goyard. Stunning.
Stunning.
This new sweatsuit I got from Aloe. And being so...
And it's all just monetary? Like, there's people who are like nuns and monks who like... study spiritualism. I'm not saying everybody has to go out and do that. Like, some people are not into religion, but like creating something or being like, I'm not having sex and I want to do it because of God or like my own personal reasons. It's like, yeah, like, okay, that's fine. That's cool.
We're traveling I don't know, taking naps. Have you ever taken a nap?
I mean, naps are pretty great, but like, Jesus, man, lady, chill. Like, it's like you're acting like you're never allowed to take a nap when you have a child. What the fuck?
It's like the funnest thing ever. It's so nice. I enjoy
It's
naps
kind of gay.
a lot.
True.
It is entirely possible that this is a parody because it's really hard to discern what is real and what is not.
Yeah, Poe's Law. Yeah, I've had issues with that since I started streaming. Like, sometimes I find out something's fake and I'm like, fuck. Like, I really was convinced it was like something that people unironically would have posted
Anymore, but come on, man. You need a better argument than this.
Someone tell me the benefits of having a child. I asked that question on somebody else's post, and literally everybody liked it. I didn't get not one good answer. Somebody said, "Oh, well, you get someone that love you for life. Get a dog."
Well, if you insist.
You got cute
Oh, is it an Irish setter?
That's it. I used you for my own ends. You can leave now.
You're just like those moms that puts the babies on the screen, you whore! It's a joke, by the way. It's a joke. There's people who do actually have kids for content. That is a cute dog, though.
I went the extra mile and have 2 dogs and a foster, so I don't know what that says about me. Unfortunately, though, it's pretty easy to find out because if I go on the internet, there are lots of data broker websites that say lots of things about me, which is why you need the sponsor of today's video, Incogni, and you better watch this ad because it was really weird and hard to make, and I think I'm hilarious, so you better watch it. What the hell, Sydney? Why am I taped to a chair? I had to make sure that it was the real you and that someone hadn't stolen your identity. What do you mean, stolen my identity? Oh, pretend you don't know that data brokers can sell your private information and then people can steal your identity. Quick, what's your dog's name? Murphy. Is this supposed to prove something? Yes, I suppose you're right. That is the sort of information that a data broker would already know.
Well, to be fair, if they know your pet's name, they can figure out your passwords and shit. Sometimes people are dumb and they use their animal's name for passwords.
Along with your address
you get
and
hacked?
your email addresses and your social security number and all other kinds of private information. Quick, what was the name of your first fish? Cameron. Sydney, this is insane.
Cameron is not a fish name.
And Incogni removes my personal information online on my behalf, making it so much harder for anyone to steal my identity. Now would you please untape me? Oh, that is exactly what an identity thief would say. No, seriously, Sydney, I made an Incogni account, gave them the right to work for me, and so far they have deleted over 1,000 entries about me from data broker websites and saved me hundreds of hours of doing this myself.
That's crazy.
And if you're still skeptical, Incogni has been independently verified by Deloitte as one of the few legitimate companies that actually help you delete your private information from data broker websites.
I get so many
So what you're
scammers,
saying
dude, it's
is
crazy.
you're actually Sydney. I am actually Sydney. Well, this is disappointing. Next, you're gonna tell me the Nigerian prince that I've been texting isn't actually a Nigerian prince. I'm not even gonna touch that one. Incogni have kind of become a one-stop shop for removing your information from these data broker websites. They have plans that allow you to add your friends and family. They allow you to do custom removals where you submit a link to them, where you have found your information on a website somewhere, and they will do their utmost to get that information removed.
That's good.
So, my little chickadees, now is the time to take back your personal information by clicking the link in the description or going to incogni.com/Sydney. And of course, use code Sydney for 60% off Incogni's annual plans. I personally have the family plan. I think this is really important, so I highly encourage you, go check out Incogni. I promise you, it's a good time. Looking at this Valkyrae clip in a broader sense, I think it reflects an increasingly vocal cohort of particularly young women on platforms like TikTok who frame child freedom as not a neutral preference, but as
they say this about boyfriends too. It's like, oh my god, it's so cool to not have a boyfriend. It's like, okay, what the fuck?
escape into
I never
endless
understood
leisure,
that.
which they often themselves describe in terms that sound less like empowerment and more like
When
quiet.
someone looks at me crazy after I say I never want kids, but I can't imagine bringing someone into a world I don't even want to be in. See, I think that's valid because that just shows that you've, at least in some capacity, it's not you saying like, oh my god, I just want more money to myself so I can spend it on nails. I think that's a fair thing to say if you preface it with being like, I just don't have money for myself. I don't want to know. I don't know if I can handle having a child because it's expensive.
Despair.
Just wanted to show how terrible, awful, lonely, miserable my life is. As a woman with no children, you see, I just ate a Happy Meal. I went to a Christmas party last night, so long over. I got my Happy Meal. I just smoked a bowl of the devil's lettuce. Thank you, devil. I love your lettuce. And
but you can do that if you have a child. You just have to be conscious and like do it normally and like not do it in front of your kids. Like what? I this is so weird to me. Like there's plenty of people who take care of their children and still have time to smoke weed, maybe not in front of the fucking kid, and like maybe when they're fucking at school and they're outside or something. But like, eating a Happy Meal, like you can just eat one, you dumb bitch. The fuck?
I'm gonna hang out with my cats and watch Christmas movies, because life is so terrible. Whatever would I do with myself without children? Oh yeah, relax.
I bet this person has a therapist. Now, I do think it's worth me saying that I know this is going to come across as me judging everybody, but I'm really not, because I can actually completely relate to both sides of this issue. I have been on both sides of this issue. Early 20s and actually even late 20s, Sydney was just completely disinterested in having kids. I thought that I would never have a family, that would just not be for me. And there was a bunch of reasons why I felt that way. Kids just always came across as a little annoying. Like, I liked them, I liked other people's kids, but for me, it just didn't feel like something I wanted. But, you know, post-Wall Sydney loves the idea of having a family. And right now, it's sort of like, I don't know if this makes sense to anybody else, but it's like reconciling the me as I am, who has the things that I want and a lot of stability and I like my life, versus looking into the future and seeing myself with kids and knowing that.
And again, I have to, like, when the chick was talking about, like, I'm gonna go hang out with my cats and watch Christmas movies, like, these jokes really do write themselves. And I think Sydney's being reasonable because as far as I know, she doesn't have kids. And this is what I'm talking about. I think there's, like, this underlying pressure that women feel that having babies is their biological purpose. And so to combat that, we get these cringe TikToks of people filming themselves trying to justify their decision. I don't care. Nobody cares. Happy for you, bro. No one thinks you're a loser because you chose not to have kids. They think you're a loser for shaming people who do want to have children. Like, Sydney's not trying to shame people and being like, oh, you know, I'm being introspective and, like, I have money and, like, I'm thinking about myself having kids one day or whatever. Like, I think that the fact that you're introspecting like this is so much nicer than the really horrible, venomous rhetoric that these people have. And then every day they get older, and then this woman who's doing the TikTok, she's gonna make another TikTok, and another Christmas goes by, and then she's, like, past her prime, and then they're past their baby making years, and they're trying to defend this, like, decision and saying, like, oh, I don't want to have kids, ew, 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 all these women that have kids, they're just, like, ruining their life. And some of these people get angrier and angrier and angrier every single time they make these TikToks. And that begs the question, like, are you mad because people are making fun of you on Twitter, or are you mad because you're starting to feel regret? I'm not saying one or the other, but I think I genuinely think both things happen, and it's the same thing.
That I have a family somewhere down the road, and so it's like, I still think other people's kids are pretty annoying, if I'm gonna be real. There's some really cute ones. Some of my friends have the cutest children you've ever experienced and seen in your life. They're so sweet. But
yeah, I
know that I will love mine, and I know that I will think mine are the cutest little schmooze that I've ever seen in all of my day.
Yeah, what is the metaphor or the quote? Like, every raven mother thinks her raven baby is the shiniest. God, don't quote me on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone thinks their kid is the greatest and everyone else sucks. Yeah, that's like an actual, you know, it's how it is. It's how you function as a person.
Like, can you just imagine an army of little cute tiny Sydneys? ChatGPT, make me an army of baby Sydneys. Well, you did your best. Anyway, all of this to say, I do think that there are a bunch
They're all
of
in
really
Australian
legitimate reasons
military
why both women
uniform.
and men hesitate when it comes to having kids. People love to make this topic seem super black and white, and it's just, I don't think it is. I think it is very nuanced, very shades of gray, and it's super personal. That said, a growing
Yeah, it's almost like posting personal things online will be subject to you being criticized and people cringing at you. Yeah.
segment of online discussions here lean into a cynical, almost nihilistic celebration of child freedom, portraying life without kids as an eternal vacation filled with sleeping in and gaming marathons and weed, fast food, and binge drinking.
It's like you don't have any responsibilities. I have responsibilities even though I have a dog and a cat. Like, God. Bro, like, it's like these people don't actually, like, have hobbies or, like, things to do or a job.
I think what probably starts
Crazy
as
eyes?
a
Yeah, she's got some
rejection of
crazy eyes,
societal
for sure.
pressures ultimately boils down to avoiding responsibility.
I think she's right, because there's, like, a million factors when it comes to having kids. Did you find the right partner to have them with? Are you in a financial place where you could actually provide for the kids and have them have a good life? What about conceiving? Like, maybe, like, something's wrong with you or your partner or both. Are you okay with, like, losing a lot of freedom and free time to raise those kids? Are you scared you won't be a good parent because you had some fucking trauma or something? Are you scared of bringing kids into a world where you disagree with and you think it's bad, you know? There's a million reasons for against having kids, and that's going to be different for everyone. I don't think this is a bad thing.
Altogether, with
It
little
is
vision
personal.
for meaningful life pursuits outside of self-indulgence.
Asking, what do
This is exactly what I was saying earlier. I think you could boil down a lot of this debate to radical feminist women being absolutely insufferable to be around. And so men insult them by calling them barren hags with no eggs and implying that they failed their biological duty and purpose by not having kids because they're so fucking miserable to be around and they have no personality and they're mean and ugly that no man or woman would want to be with them. And then these women get so fucking mad and counter by saying, well, like, having kids is like being like a slave anyway, so why would I want to do that? I'm actually like winning and girl bossing, and I'm super happy that I don't have kids. And before you know it, you have a new subject for the fucking gender war battle. And now you've got tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of seething women making anti-kids TikToks to justify their personal choice instead of keeping them to themselves. If you're gonna post it online, I'm gonna have to laugh at you too. That's what a lot of this is about. It's unironically, I know this is gonna come out funny, but like, it truly is like a hose mad moment. And the reason it's so sad is because there are many cases of these women literally choosing not to have babies in order to spite some fucking random people on the internet or some dude that was like mean to them or something. And it's like, bro, like, God, grow up. Or even better, because the 2X chromosome subreddit told them not to have babies and told them it's bad, and then they regret it later in life. Yeah, like, oh, you'll ruin your body and it's the patriarchy. It's like, do men not ruin their bodies to like provide money and protection for the people that they love? Like, isn't that the same thing? Like, you don't have to go out there and like slam your back into the mining wall to get coal, or like jump out of a helicopter as like a marine or a soldier and break your legs at age 30. Yeah, my back hurts. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, men also kind of hurt too, man. Like, you get stretch marks on your belly, or you know, you get cranky when you're pregnant and you get sore feet. Like, yeah, fucking it sucks. It is what it is.
women in their 30s even do if they don't have kids?
Honestly, it's dangerous. Being childless in your 20s is one thing, even your late 20s, but in your 30s, and I think it's for this reason and this reason only that no one really talks about. In your 20s, you're literally graduating college, you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life, establish some type of career, you're starting out in a job, whatever, trying to figure out your living situation. But it's dangerous because once you're in your 30s, you have adult money. And when you're childless, guess what? That turns into adult fun money. You've been in a job long enough. You've climbed the career ladder. You know, you're making good money at this point in life, probably. And it's like, ooh. So, like, yeah.
Probably. I mean, that's kind of... I don't know. You're saying a lot of definitives. It's not a probably. It's not a... Some people don't have any fucking money.
If I want to go on a cruise next week with my fellow teacher bestie, who's also childless, guess what? We can. If I want to go out to dinner every night because I don't feel like cooking, I can. If I want to sit home in silence in the AC and rot on my couch, I can. And I'm sorry, people can argue that that's selfish, but it's not at all. It's my own choice, just like you made a choice.
But will you, though? Will you go on a cruise? Probably not. Oh
Probably
God, this
not.
cookie is so good. What the heck? Videos under hashtags like child-free and child-free by choice frequently feature women bragging about their unstructured days. They sleep until midday. They lounge.
Did you know it's actually worse for women to sleep in than for men? That's like actually... That is unironically a fact. I read a study somewhere. There was like a massive study across Europe, like a bunch of different countries. It's actually bad for women to sleep in compared to men. Really, what? It like increases your hormones and it dysregulates your hormonal imbalance, apparently, as a woman. Men also suffer from it, but not as much as women do. So say like your normal wake up time. So for example, you wake up every morning at 9 o'clock. If you sleep until 11, that's bad for your hormones. Yeah. It apparently throws you off and it's not good for your health. Is that why you get so mad when they try to nap? I don't know.
Interrupted or indulge in vices
hormones.
without consequence.
Not to brag, but what a time to be childless. I mean, I woke up at 10 a.m. on a Saturday, made coffee in silence, you know, and the only person screaming in my house was the espresso machine. You know, I scrolled for 2 hours. I ate leftover pizza for breakfast. No one judged
You
me.
can have leftover pizza for breakfast with kids? What are you talking about? It was like awesome when I was a kid. Coffee, yeah, coffee.
You know, you can't buy that kind of freedom. Mostly because you spent all your money on diapers and Paw Patrol merch. So, you know, I see parents out here running full marathons before 8 a.m., right? They're pushing strollers, they're packing snacks, they're negotiating with toddlers like it's a hostage situation. Okay, meanwhile, my biggest responsibility today is remembering...
I wonder what... I wonder what they think of their parents. Like, you were born on this planet. Look, I get it. I 100% get it. I totally I get the feeling of looking at parents with screaming toddlers and being like, holy shit, that looks like it sucks. I have absolutely had that feeling. I'm not going to deny it. But when you stop, get in your car, turn on your phone, and then record a TikTok or whatever to post online, you've crossed the threshold of being happy with your personal choice into stepping into the territory of like where it genuinely feels like you're coping. You're coping and looking for internet strangers to like approval for like how you feel. That's how I see it, genuinely. Yeah, it's seeking validation.
to plug in my phone.
I do feel like a bit of a boomer right now, not being able to tell if something's AI, because I watched this again and I was like, you might be a parody. I can't tell because the people who say this crap, they're so close to the people parodying this crap, and it's just like...
Well, that's what I was saying too before I like kind of derailed myself. It's like, what do you think your parents did for you? Like, I know not everybody's parents were rich and like my parents had to cut corners to make me happy. I knew a kid that like was pretty... They weren't like poor, but like lower middle class. And some years I remember hearing from my parents later on when I grew up saying like, yeah, that kid didn't have a lot, but like his parents gave up a lot of things, like buying a new car to like give them a good Christmas present. They went to Disneyland one time and they planned out and budgeted everything. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, you don't think about that kind of thing, and it's like, you know, like your parents probably gave up shit too, and they were growing up and taking care of you. No one's born a good parent. Yeah, but nobody's born a rich parent either. Like, that's the thing.
What are you...
Having children in a patriarchal society is a humiliation ritual. If having a boyfriend is embarrassing, having a fucking baby daddy is mortifying.
We're not the same. He doesn't want kids because he doesn't want responsibility. I don't want kids because I have 11 nieces and nephews because I've babysat and that was enough for me. You know what? I would argue if you have nieces and nephews you're related to and you take care of them a lot, that's you doing your job as from a monkey caveman level, because you're still passing on your genes and taking care of them and being like, you're doing your duty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm praising this kind of poorly, but like, you're doing a good thing because you're still taking care of the tribe. Your tribe, you know?
Now everybody
if you don't
knows
have
what
kids,
that
it's
takes. You
fine. I
took
totally
that
get it.
shit
You're tired.
raw.
You're like, all right, I'm taking care
One
of them.
TikTok I came across features
Sorry, I missed that. I missed this part because I saw a comment.
Humiliation ritual. If having a boyfriend is embarrassing, having a fucking baby daddy is mortifying.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows what that takes. You took that shit raw.
What?
One TikTok I came across features a woman explaining that she spent a 5-day vacation from work doing absolutely nothing at home. And while that might be nice for a day or two to recharge after a busy period, doing that regularly results in a life filled with nothing. No memories of fun trips, no additional accomplishments, no hobbies, nothing to show for the time spent on this earth outside of your self-care routine of eating as many Cheez-Its as possible.
Oh, Cheez-Its are so good, dude.
Another TikToker that I found went as far as to say that women without
right
kids
now.
have so much freedom that our female ancestors could only dream of.
No,
being a child-free woman contributing to like a declining birth rate right now feels so good.
because being a
The overall Earth population is still not going down, sweetie pie. I hate to break it to you, man. No snacks allowed. No.
woman without kids right now at this point in history,
No snacks allowed.
it is the best, most exclusive club to be a part of. We are living the
But
life.
you're not declining the birth rate. There's other people. There's other people breeding so hard to make up for you, brother.
That so many of our ancestors, the women who came before us,
This must be
wanted
sped
to
up.
live, but literally couldn't. They couldn't even dream of having the freedom that we have created for ourselves. And according to the worst of the worst, according to Elon Musk, JD Vance, like, we are public enemy number one. We are the biggest threat to their lifestyle, their livelihood, and thus they attack us, they belittle us. But it's because they're scared of us.
Scared of you.
Dude, this girl probably has a Reddit, man. Actually, I take that back. I think all of these girls have a Reddit. These are people who frequent the 2X chromosome subreddit. This is one of those swamp hags that Asmund always talks about. These are the absolute fucking retards that like hate men and other attractive, successful women. So their entire life purpose becomes to like simultaneously sabotage other women from being like happy and prevent men from finding wives to like have kids with, bro. Look at her eyes, chat. Like, she has nothing behind those eyes. Nothing but, like, this contempt and, like, jealousy. And be like, oh my god, I'm contributing to this, like, club. It's like, oh my god, what are you... Is that the best you can do? This is a miserable person who wants you and everyone else, including other women, crabs in a bucket, to be miserable, just like them, man.
You because you are systematically taking yourselves out of the gene pool? Scared of you because when too many stupid people get together it creates a mega stupid? Where exactly do you think this fear is coming from, Toothy Magoo? This whole thing is so weird, man, because these women talk
She's not a
about
swamp hag
all
yet?
this
You don't
crap
think so?
and the freedom and the, I can do all the things I want, but like, it's not like you're spending this freedom doing things that actually matter, like going on grand adventures or, I don't know, doing philanthropy or spending your time in your community building something or making
like
something or
helping homeless
contributing.
people or
You're just
something, I don't
spending
know.
it doing...
Go to a soup kitchen. I don't know. Go discover some spirituality. I don't know. Go climb a mountain and like draw a painting. Like, what the fuck?
Boring,
what are you doing?
passive nonsense. Again, I'm trying not to judge. There's of course a time and a place to just do the things that you want to do, but what's the bet that
There's nothing wrong with bed rotting, but your entire life shouldn't be circling around it. ISP? No, that's Twitch. I'm fine. If you're lagging, it's Twitch.
Already these people are spending their time freaking doom scrolling or doing
VTuber.
the droves or, I don't know, sleeping.
I never hear people talking about being child-free by choice because they want to sleep. There are a lot of other good reasons, the environment, just not wanting kids because you don't want to raise kids. That is a perfectly good reason. But personally for me, that is a massive reason I do not want to have children because I really value my sleep. And when I get less than 8 hours of sleep every night, I am in a terrible mood. I am not a nice person and I can barely function. So just thinking about raising a child, having to get up in the middle of the night constantly, I'm not here for that.
Do you realize, like, that's, like, one period in your life? Do you realize there's people who have, like, insomnia and shit and they don't have kids? I don't know. I mean, like, sleep?
And I get some people are willing to do that, and that's great. Even people who really value their sleep. And I think we all get to choose which hard we want to do in life. And that is not the hard I want to choose.
You, Netflix. As one viral
Oh, is that in the middle of that?
TikTok put it, the point
She got
is to
copyright
explicitly not take care of another human, implying, actually this doesn't even imply, it's like it's right there, they're saying it out loud. This is a reluctance to ever set aside personal comfort even momentarily. But I can't help but find all of this very, very bleak. And obviously, I hope it's obvious at least, none of this is to say that people who vehemently dislike children or who really super duper don't want to be parents should go ahead and have children and become parents. Like, obviously, if that is not what you want, there's no expectation that you should do that. But I do think if the justification for not having children or for having venom towards people who do is because you want everybody...
My mom had a friend who was a spinster and all she did was teach up until the point she died. And I think that's... I don't know. She went to community things and, like, she taught a lot. She taught a lot of people. She taught kids. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I never hated her. She was actually a really nice lady. Yeah, she did something. Exactly. She was like an unironic spinster up until she tried to. By the way, my mom talked to her one time because we would come over to her house sometimes, and like my mom liked to garden and stuff. And she was a really nice lady and she liked me. You know, she was a teacher too. She was a really good teacher. And I remember one time my mom told me, she sat down with her, she's like, so, lady, I'm not gonna use her name, but she's like, lady, why do you not want to have kids? She's like, I don't know, I just never met the right man. And then my mom talked her through a bunch of stories that she gave, and my mom told me later on when I grew up, she's like, dude, she was just like insufferable. She was like the OG, like, TikTok woman, like, who was insufferable and mean. Like, she was really pleasant around to be, like, as a girl, but there was something about all the stories that my mom listened to from her. She's like, she said she had suitors. She had suitors. And she had them, and they all went away, and she was like, it never worked out. And it was like, my mom finally thought of it, and she was like, yeah, I think I understand why. She taught kids. Yeah, she had a purpose in her life. She's like, she had a bunch of cats. Dude. She had an orange cat that was awesome. I loved him. I got to go over to her house sometimes with my mom and we visited her. She was a really nice lady. There's nothing wrong with her, but there was obviously a reason why she was a spinster. Yeah, she was a cat lady through and through. Crazy. Oh, you're a bitch? Yes. Yeah, she was a very difficult woman. She was very stringent, very difficult, but she was really nice.
To live these ultimately kind
of
terrible
shallow,
wife or
mother,
somewhat
exactly.
vapid lives.
I
find that really quite sad. I have always been a live and let live kind of person, you know,
sure.
for the most part. It's kind of gotten harder to defend over the years because the crazies just take advantage of that. But you know, in this context, again,
by the way, I'm not lagging. It's Twitch. It's not me.
And I try not to be too judgmental because people have their reasons for feeling the way they do about having a family. But again, if the reason that you don't want a family is because you want to smoke weed all the time and, I don't know, hang around in your underwear, and I don't love that. And of course, it isn't just TikTok popularizing this idea. Several celebrities have been quite outspoken about their desires to avoid parenthood because, as comedian Seth Rogen phrased it, it just doesn't look very fun. Pop culture icons like Chappell Roan aren't helping to improve this outlook on family life when they proclaim things like, "All of my friends with young children are living in hell." That is a quote that Roan said on the Call Her Daddy podcast. Oh my goodness.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I don't know anyone. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like a 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept.
In 2022,
Bro, what?
Comedian Chelsea Handler posted a video bragging about sleeping in and avoiding theme parks as perks of a child-free lifestyle, ending the video with the caption, "Kids, they're not that great." I sincerely hope that nobody is taking...
Nobody said it would be easy. Bro, have you ever, like, I don't know, like when I got Juji, he was a 8-week-old puppy. 8.5 or maybe 9. He would constantly get up and need to piss, and I dealt with it because I loved him so much. Like, I know it's not a one-to-one. Don't get offended and be like, "Oh my god, Alana's comparing puppies to kids," but like, they need to piss all the time. And he would go, "Ha, ha, ha," and then I'd have to gently pick him up, because he couldn't jump down off the bed, because I have a, what is it called, a bed frame? So I'd have to pick him up and put him down on the little mat at like fucking at least 1 or 2 times a night up until like a certain point. And I was like, damn, like this is hard. Like I can't imagine with a kid, because kids apparently wake up way more. And it's like you raise like a tiny little kitten or like a tiny puppy, and you realize it is so much harder to be a mom or dad. But at least ideally you take shifts if you are mom and dad. Like you if a baby's crying, you can be like, "Okay, go and fucking take care of him," that kind of shit. Like, I don't know. I love Juji with all my heart. And I never fucking once in my... This was right before I started streaming. Well, not right before, but it was like a couple of years before. And I thought to myself, like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's something you just have to deal with. And I never hated him for it because he's so cute. And I love him. And he's not even like my blood. It's just an animal. Like, I just did it because it's a defenseless animal. Like, I don't want him to pee and like sleep in his own piss.
Cues about life from Chelsea.
And they cry and they pee and poop everywhere.
And because I don't have kids, that means I don't have to go anywhere today. I don't have to go to Disneyland, Legoland, Color Me Mine, Build-A-Bear, Yogurtland, the zoo. I don't have to go to
Do these people not walk or like feed their pets every day or like hang out with them and give them attention? How miserable are you?
Any of those places. Not once, not ever. Kids, they're not that great.
What do you mean? Legoland is awesome. I went to Legoland when I was a kid. My parents had a lot of fun. No joke. I went to Legoland. I think it was in Germany. My parents took me there. They had a lot of fun. My dad was taking pictures. We went on the it's like a little bicycle thing on the water. My mom and dad loved that. Like, what the fuck? You're so miserable. What is wrong with you?
There's also one component to this conversation that I find really interesting, and that's basically that there is this insistence that pro-child and pro-family people are jealous of anyone who is child-free. I am sure that there is an element here of this taking place, but I don't think the reason why parents and pro-child people...
I've never once in my life met someone who had kids and was like, "Oh, I'm so jealous of you. You don't have kids." Like, I've never actually met... Maybe I don't hang around miserable people. Maybe that's it. Or, like, super mentally ill, chronically online people. Yeah. I don't know.
Find child-free people so annoying is because of some boiling, unresolved resentment that's taking place. Yes, everybody loves travel and sleep and, you know, solitude when it matters, but...
We're miserable? Yeah, but you don't say that type of shit to other people, do you? Like, I understand people are, like, joking, saying, like, "I'm miserable, I'm chronically online." It's like, that's not the same, though. You don't go out and, like, do that.
Again, I don't think that jealousy of those things is the basis for people reacting negatively to people running around saying how much they hate kids. There are a lot of people on both sides of this issue who are very respectful and kind about expressing their sentiments towards having children or not. And at the same time, there are a lot of people who are buttheads about expressing their ideas. And particularly from the child-free side of things, oftentimes a lot of them will just crap on mothers and motherhood and families in general, which is, stop doing that.
Why are mothers so triggered by people that don't want kids?
So as somebody with kids, I think from my perspective, the reason why sometimes parents can get annoyed and frustrated with people who don't have kids is that it's not just that they don't want kids, but they openly insinuate that you are miserable and hate your life because you have kids.
I can liken this, again, I can't say this for myself, but like when I go on a walk with Juji 2 to 3 times a day, sometimes Juji will want to poop or pee in the middle of the night, even though I took him out that night, right? And it's like, oh my god, I fucking hate my life. Like, you say it out loud, and it's like, oh, come on, let's go. All right, we'll take you out. Like, it's the same responsibility you have of, like, doing something you really don't want to do. But it's like, you're not gonna make him piss and shit on the floor because he has to, you know, pee or poop. Like, it's so weird, like, the mentality of, like, oh, you're complaining because you have to go do something for your loved one. It's like, yeah, I'm allowed to complain, but I'm gonna go do it because I love them.
There are people in the comment section of your video doing this. There was one person that said,
outside,
misery
bum.
loves
Yeah,
company in
exactly.
response to your question. Like, I personally could not give less of a shit about what anybody does with their lives, whether people choose to have kids or not. In fact, most of my friends don't have kids.
My dog would shit on my pillow when he was a puppy. But I still would kill anyone if I tried to take away with it. Exactly. Like, I would get so pissed if someone tried to take Juji from me. That we're not blood. I'm not one of those cringe weirdos that's like, oh my god, he's like my little son. It's not. It's a fucking dog. It's an animal. Like, come on. I love him to death, but it's not a human being at the end of the day. They are like humans, but it's not the same attachment that people have towards children. He is like, I love him so much, but at the same time, it's it's the same kind of bond you have.
I don't care at all.
Is
However,
your baby Alana? Well, not literally.
a lot of my friends have no problem with
It's
just
family.
like
Yeah,
openly
exactly.
shit-talking me and the fact that I have kids right to my face.
Also, if there is an element of jealousy, I think that likely stems from the fact that a lot of mums just don't feel terribly supported and thus feel alone a lot of the time. Lastly,
That
speaking
sucks.
of loneliness,
Sure.
I do think it is quite interesting how this child-free epidemic has coincided with this loneliness epidemic that we're seeing. AV Magazine actually wrote a great piece about this, which I will link in the description box. The article in question discusses how actor Timothy Chalamet said in his Vogue December 2025 cover story that he watched an interview where someone bragged about not having kids and how much time it afforded them to do stuff, and he thinks that this outlook is incredibly bleak. He goes on to discuss how he views family and purpose, noting that, as Vogue put it, he knows some people can't have children or are never in the position to, but he does believe procreation is the reason we're here. The article goes on to describe how Chalamet is one of the many young celebrities who are rejecting this nihilistic tone that dominated the last decade and are now beginning to talk about family, purpose, and meaning again. The negative messaging around parenthood and children and families that has been shoved down the throat of millennials and older
And you also don't know what it takes to adopt a child that might not even have like a good life too. Like adoption or having to take care of oh god, I heard this really sad story from like a friend of a guy that lost both his parents and his brother who had a child, and the child wasn't there in the car, and now he has to take care of that little niece or nephew or whatever it was. And now he can't have kids. He's like, I don't think I could have kids myself because I'm going to be taking care of a child that might not be directly related to me, but they are still my brother's child who's dead. It's like, I have to help them. It's like, you know, there's like circumstances like that where it's like, I completely understand. Like, you don't have to have kids to do that. Yeah, you're sacrificing yourself to, like, you know, take care of something. And it's not
maybe just
selfish. You're
Gen
doing it
Zers
for
in
the love
general.
of them.
Probably just in general. Anyway, I think this has contributed to this desire to have this forever adolescence, this forever young adulthood with no responsibilities and whatnot. And as the Evie magazine article put it, and I don't remember it verbatim, but basically they wrote, and I think this is a really good way of describing it, they wrote that we have created for ourselves a marketplace that is designed to address the ache of disconnection without addressing its source. And as depressing as it is, I think that that assessment is actually overall correct. Now, does this mean that I think that you have to want to have children? Absolutely no, that's not what I'm saying. Do I think that this means that
No,
you
if you don't
cannot
want
have
to, then you don't
hobbies?
want to.
Or hobbies that are born out of you being a young person, like Warhammer or My Little Pony. Why are those the two I always go to? Hello Kitty or whatever. No, I'm not saying that at all either. You are entitled to whatever hobbies
I would have
you have,
accepted
provided that they're
VTubers
legal.
more.
And does all of this mean that I think that we should shame people who have opted to not have children and tell them that they're selfish and all these type of things? No, I do not think that, because largely, and I will say this with my whole chest, because, you know, I get the messages, when are you having kids? What are you doing, Sydney?
Oh, yeah, for
you
sure.
just simply don't know what's going on in somebody's life. You simply do
True.
not know what is stopping them from starting a family, whether it might be fertility issues, maybe they suffer with miscarriages. There are so many reasons why somebody might not have children yet, and you don't know what they are. But with that said, with people so boldly bragging about wanting to have these, I don't know, sad, adolescent-esque, bleak existences, I think it's fine to not criticize them to be horrible to them, but criticize them to say, hey, maybe this is not the way that we should be doing things. Maybe we should be investing in our own futures by investing in children. With that said as well, we probably need to build the social
I
and
would
economic
donate to, like,
framework that
a
makes
school or
having
something.
children actually a desirable thing, because I know that even for myself, I worry about what the financial situation will look like when children come along. I worry about what the stability of, you know, the United States will look like when I have kids. I
True.
worry about the future that they are going to inherit from us. So, like,
and then when you pass, it's like, oh God, you're like thinking way into the future, but it's like you think about it, it's like, damn, like, am I gonna let them inherit this mess? Hopefully, like, you equip them with the right things to battle that, you know?
Said,
To be
I do
able to
think this
deal with
topic
it
is
without
super
you being
personal,
there, you
super
know?
nuanced. I think there's
That's
so
what my
many
mom and
factors
dad
to it,
always
but
say.
I am forever critical, and I will be forever critical of these women and men to a lesser extent, but mostly the women.
It's
who
mostly
talk
women that say
about
this kind of
being
shit.
childless and child-free in this bizarre, oh, I get to smoke all the weed and drink all the alcohol kind of way, because at least to me that
What the
signals that somebody is not growing up. It kind of signals arrested development, and I do judge that, to be honest with you. I don't know why people engage with this behavior as they get older, because I think that a lot of that behavior is in fact detrimental to you the older that you get. Ultimately, I think it's fair to say that if somebody doesn't want children, then they probably shouldn't be a parent, but I also don't think it's very nice to judge parents who are trying their best with their children and make them feel bad because they've made a different decision to you. And as for all of the people who continue to brag about what I consider to be a reasonably bleak, childless existence, I will continue to feel sorry for them. And I'm going to hold out hope that we can create better conditions that mean people feel more comfortable having families and children, and we as a collective can move comfortably and happily into the future with a bunch of tiny people. Now, on that note, and before I open
That's
the
a
floor
very
to all of
positive
you, this
outlook.
is just a reminder, check out Incogni using the link in the description. I genuinely use Incogni. I genuinely love Incogni because the data broker thing is just so freaking creepy. So if you are also concerned about this, absolutely go ahead and check them out. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that the existence that these people are describing is just so sad and so bleak? Are you on the other side of this where you're like, no, that sounds pretty good, I would like to live my life like this? Are you somewhere in the middle where you can
I wanted to live my life like that when I was like 18, and all I wanted to do was play WoW all day. Now like, I don't know. I think there's more to it than just fucking playing video games. It's streaming and talking to a bunch of chatters.
see both sides of the issue, you think that both sides maybe have good points, and you're kind of just on the fence about the whole matter. Are you somebody who has chosen to be child-free? I'm very curious as to why. If that's the case, definitely let me know. Are you somebody who has kids, and honestly, you kind of get where the childless people are coming from? Are you pro people having big families? Are you against it? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along.
Are we your children? No, man, you're fucking grown men. Holy shit.
And you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Like I always say, my wonderful little chickadee people, I hope you stay safe and well and make
you're my
good
rats,
choices.
exactly.
And I will see your terrific small scroodle faces. Not sure what that is. I will see your little faces in the next video.
Oh, that was good. That was a good video. Thanks, Sydney. Wow. Again, nothing against you not wanting to have kids, but you posting your dumbass fucking, I want to smoke weed, I want to eat pizza, I want to go on a cruise, I want to have money for my nails. Shut the hell up, man. There's more to life than that.